YouTubers are no strangers to crafting wacky products, from t-shirts to toys, but something most don't do now is create pretty useless books. Now I'm gonna hold your paw when I say this, YouTubers are idiots.
I think there's someone having fun right there.
So, no spoiler, a YouTuber book isn't gonna be good or worth your money. That's why I'm not getting any of their books for this video, because I got the book. Now, originally I wasn't gonna get it because it was like 20 quid, but I found it for 4 quid. So I just decided to buy it, and yeah, Ninja Blevins. But to explain my point for those who may only know those YouTubers by the Low Taper Fade or an Orange Cat, most of these people were booming, and creating books were not their top priority, only another avenue to create money. I'd even call them haunted with the amount of ghostwriters working on these things.
I just gotta go to bed.
Though there are some exceptions, and I'd say Ninja is a part of this too, weirdly enough.
He's a real nowhere man.
YouTuber comics, say it with me, aren't a new thing, but are definitely original and have a lot more effort put into them. For instance, I could hire a write a book on how I play Mr. Wolf Poor Job Simulator so well, then make trillions on sales and a lot more money and publicity on YouTubers making videos on it.
Ooh, absolutely crazy. So I love this.
Or I could work with many artists, craft an okay story about my little fella, and then ship it off to make probably less.
Got a call this morning from AAA law enforcement. Oh, fucking goddamn it!
I think the best comparison is the Shane Dawson I Hate My Selfie book and the Dan TDM Treoris and the Enchanted Crystal book. One is a well thought through story with a whole tour based around it, which I attended and actually got my book signed. Who's that signature? And the other is a book with this opening.
Hi, I'm Shane Dawson. Some of you might know me from my videos on the internet. Some of you might know me from the movie I directed entitled Not Cool. That movie was pretty not cool. And some of you might know me as the guy who the guy you saw on the cover of this book who has an incredibly punchable face. I'm all of those things and more. I also have an incredibly punchable body, but none of you will get to see that unless you're an...
This also got a movie dedicated to it, but that's a whole different story.
You're talking to the guy who fell down the bleachers at homecoming last year and killed 3 cheerleaders.
You are worthless, bitch ass.
Now what makes a book good is very subjective, but in this case, no it isn't. An argument against this would be to point out that though H.P. Lovecraft is peak, you can't say he is your GOAT. Because, like Shane Dawson, he also did something very bad to his cat. But my point is, you gotta separate the art from the artist.
We're 3 minutes in.
But when the art is intrinsically about said person, you gotta draw the line. So basically, since YouTubers are so up their ass, they must judge the books based on the person behind them, as well as the books themselves. Opening the book, the first thing you'll see are just 3 consecutive images of Ninja. Now skipping past the ramble, we can actually see the ideal gaming setup according to Ninja Blevins. This includes Cheez-Its, Discord, and a pen knife with the bottle opener being the only thing that's out. To be fair though, there are some actually good tips in here, and considering it's for kids, I don't mind this. And here is the most infamous part, the warm-up exercises. Got neck pain? Back pain, dude? Sore wrists? Apart from some alright advice about tech and streaming, which is definitely outdated by now, I do actually want to highlight that in a photo we can actually see the esports guys all have Discord on their second monitor. So it's glad to know they had their priorities right on this one. Looking past the whole book, it's just a cool piece of YouTube history that I'm glad to have in my possession. How about it? Dan TDM book, Dan TDM book, Dan TDM book, Dan TDM book, Dan TDM book. Now the first page is just an introduction to the book itself.
I decided to write this book for the same reasons I started doing YouTube videos, because I love being creative. Freaking sweet.
The story starts by showing their dynamics, though since you have definitely watched Dan TDM at some point in time, Dr. Treoris being a scientist and Dan being the muscle isn't a surprise. Now since I don't want to make this video overly long, let me summarize the story. A rock lands in both Dan and the evil doc's layers. This rock is pretty powerful, I think. look at my chair just fell off. The rock is supposedly very powerful, and looking past the slave labor for some reason, we can clearly see that this small shard isn't strong enough to produce a strong clone. So he needs the rest of the rock. This then leads to a pretty big back and forth battle that eventually concludes in the rock itself being destroyed, the slaves being freed, and everyone living happily ever after. Overall, the book itself isn't anything special, but the art style, the tour accompanying it, and the fan service via the references to his videos make it a lot better than most. So this is an easy 8.5 out of 10. Look, so now you can kind of see why I decided to compare these two books mainly throughout the video. One is a pretty high effort children's book, and the other is a glorified Wikipedia article.
现违规异常，了解详情请按0，由华语客服为您服务。
To be honest, the idea of crafting a book is very appealing, and to some extent I'd say most people probably share this same sentiment. So when a person gains a following of parasocial fans, that same idea is put on tenfold. They also tend to have a lot of money, so it's easy to afford the funds. But back to my main point, the reason why YouTuber books never gain popularity outside of their audience is purely due to the fact that either the ghostwriter couldn't find anything special or interesting about their life to match other biographies, or due to the fact that YouTubers are YouTubers. And apart from a Sidemen documentary, for some reason, nobody above the age of 8 would buy or be interested in these people no matter how special they may be. In reality though, all of these books kinda suck, even those with effort put into them, so it's sad to know that unless you have some sort of miracle, you just won't reach that depth. I will say though, movies are a different beast, and I do kind of want to do a follow-up video covering this very similar phenomenon, but I'll talk about that Gazzy topic when my fairy booty gets around to it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the Patreon. I'm gonna start doing a lot more stuff there. Join the Discord. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Mr. Beast.
Hey, kudos. You're nice again. Well, basically, I was talking to Mr. Wolf, and he just wanted me to put on my game face and tell you what a gay, very special, below 70 IQ person you are. Loving the band BTS. What's up with you, dude? Alright, you need to lock in and crack femboys more and focus on work. May the beast be with you.
Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.